So Judy, this is going to be my
your prop.
this is going to be my prop for the caricature.
Generally, when I work, I tend to do basically the top of the head down. People work differently. Some people start with the eyes.
Okay.
So I tend to do the hair.
Okay. So you were saying before during the commercial break that you remembered the name of that caricature.
Yes, Al Hirschfeld.
Al Hirschfeld, okay.
And I think many of his pictures are, I believe, in different places in New York City. One company I actually interviewed with at one point actually had originals of his.
And don't they do some of them in a magazine? I think like in the New Yorker magazine or something like that?
Possibly. That may have been where he was, most famous.
Because I've seen some caricatures in that place, but it's always really good to see how the artist's rendition of the person comes out. So do people have to sit still, or do they have to?
It's helpful, but it really depends on the person, and I don't have to apologize. It depends on the first person's features, and I don't know. It really depends. I do them better when people are relatively still. Just a little bit easier to capture, really see what you're drawing.
Okay. And will you sign it too, and we can have it up?
Sure.
We can put it as a thing for the show, like another logo or something, if you like. Have you had one of these done yourself, a caricature of
Interestingly,
yourself,
one of the guys that I tend to work with, we do sometimes we do the same gigs, because they'll want 2 or 3 of us sometimes. And we had to wait for customers one day, so we decided to do one of each other. And I do have his. It's just black and white. And he actually has me drawing someone, and this old woman with a big mole on her face saying, "Make me pretty," and it's very cute, actually.
Okay.
And I had to do a self one for my webpage as well. I had to do one of myself. So I have done a portrait though by looking in the mirror in college. That was an interesting experience.
Was it for like an art class?
Yeah, it was an art class.
And so, what kind of materials do you use to make? Like
I do them with either Sharpie marker or the Faber-Castell Pitt Artist pen that I have now. It has a brush point to it, so it tends to do thick and thins easily. And I use the pastels.
Okay.
Or I just do with colored pencil sticks, which are like more waxy and hard.
Okay.
Gonna give me a little smile? Good, nice broad smile.
It's always a fun thing to see, like, I wanted to ask you, do you have people who stand over you and look at your work?
Absolutely. That's part of the entertainment value, really.
Okay.
Is people, and sometimes they'll say, "Oh, do you mind me watching?" I go, "Well, no, that's what you're supposed to do. It doesn't bother me. I like it, actually."
Okay.
We're getting to the teeth now, so we have to do just a little outline, but.
All right. And I'm trying to sit still, like,
Oh no, you're doing fine.
Really. And people always, like, you see people doing them on the street, and I always stop to look over their shoulder, and I say, "Well, do you mind if I watch?" And they're like, "No, it's fine."
Yeah.
And it's great that how they capture the essence of the person.
Yeah, and some people are a little trickier I don't know what it is about people. I feel that for me, that people are, the more distinct people are, the easier they are to capture. If people are a little, I hate to say generic looking, but if they don't have anything really distinct about them, they're a little harder sometimes to capture, which is sometimes surprising to people.
But then don't you also have to have a sort of great eye for observation of the person?
Yeah.
You've got to kind of see what details you can see while they're in front of you or from the photograph.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, I see too many details because I see a lot of them on myself that aren't always flattering. No, seriously. You notice things that a lot of people don't notice about people's, whether it's their eye shape or that sort of thing, It definitely happens. Oh, you can see it?
Yeah, from here, I can see it on the monitor.
Okay.
You can take your time.
Yeah, so you never know how quick these will go sometimes.
Yeah, so take your time. That's why I wanted to leave a little bit more time so people could see you at work.
Oh, that's
and
great.
know that it's tough. It's tough work.
Thank you.
You want to do?
Hey, if there's time, I'll draw. I'll do anybody else. Absolutely.
Oh, it's great though.
I had fun last night. I was doing an office party, and it was all all people that were 30 and older, and it was a lot of fun.
It's just really fun because you never know what feature or what will, pop out to someone else. My cousin had one done, and she had one the man made her more Asian. She has very almond eyes,
Right.
much more so than I do. And one artist made her much more Asian looking.
Oh, really?
And then the other gentleman made her look like herself.
Yeah.
And so when I asked her about it, I said, well, these two pictures, this doesn't really look so much like you, but this one does. And she said, well, yes, I think this guy captured the essence because he asked me more questions.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's
why
interesting. Yeah.
And he let other people watch his work
Right.
too. And one of the guys said, well, she's got a very bright smile. What about her smile? And he said, hey, am I doing this or are you doing
Really?
this?
Oh, that's funny.
And so everybody laughed and got a good rise.
Was
out
this
of the
around
people.
here? The
I don't remember where she said
Oh,
she
okay.
got it. So, are there a lot of women doing it in terms of like, even though you've not met them, are they in
I'm not
industry?
sure.
Or?
I know there's some, but I know some of the online agents that represent me. I know there are some women in Connecticut, but I see more men than I see women on
Okay.
that site.
Okay, so we've got 3 minutes left, they said, so you got time. Take your time.
Make a little bit of a glow here around the statue.
Yeah, no worries. Lots of money left. Dollar sign.
Okay, we're good.
Okay, do you want to step aside and let...
Sure.
Okay, if we can get a shot of that, I'll put this here, and we'll stand on either side of it. And let's see. Oh, that's great! I love that!
Thank you.
So can you tell us what some of the, I guess, details that you've done, or like...
Well, I did give you a nice broad smile.
Yeah.
The almond eyes for sure. Again,
Yeah.
not overly exaggerated, but show the almond eyes.
Yeah.
And you have a distinct here. You have the distinct, a little bit of the shape of the face,
Yeah.
the jawline,
Yeah.
and put in the little statue there.
Yeah, and it's gold and it's shining and a bit of
Yeah.
film. I really like that, Judy. Thank you so
You're
much. That
welcome.
looks really like